out there. Welcome back to another session of SprintX, the ultimate countdown. And I'm your teacher Ashpreet for social studies. And we're going to talk about this important chapter from geography, that's mineral and energy resources. So I'm going to split the questions into 1 mark question. We're going to discuss 3 mark question, and also we're going to talk about 5 mark questions. So okay guys, before I jump onto this session and we talk about the very first question that's for 3 marks, I want to discuss few things that are very important with respect to this chapter. Okay, so the very first thing is, yes, in this chapter we'll have to talk about minerals and minerals. So yes, there is a very important thing that you have to take in care of, that you need to take care of. It's when we talk about minerals, yes, they are homogeneous, they are naturally occurring, and also they're naturally occurring substances with a definite, I would say, internal structure. So that is the basic definition when I talk about minerals. So minerals they occur basically in ores. So minerals, yes, they occur in ore. So the best way to memorize this is ROME. So what's the trick right here? See, from rock, you get ore from rocks, you get minerals from ores, and you get elements from minerals. Isn't it easy, guys? Yes. Apart from this, second important thing you guys know is there's this scale that's known as Mohs scale that we basically use to measure the hardness. The hard substance as of now till date that we found is, yes, diamond. Very good. Most of you know it. And the soft one is talc. Okay, talking about minerals. So minerals are found in different rocks, and they vary in their colors, their hardness, their crystal forms, luster, density, everything is different. So when I talk about, when I talk about igneous and metamorphic rocks, like we have igneous rocks, we have metamorphic rocks, and we do have sedimentary rocks. So talking about igneous and metamorphic rocks, we generally find minerals in cracks, we find minerals in joints, we find minerals in fault. So it's like either it's I am, how you're supposed to remember, it's like joint, it's your fault. So always you always have to say I am at fault. So imagine what are the synonyms of fault. It can be crack, it can be joint. I am is igneous and metamorphic, and where they're found, they're basically found in faults. Apart from this, they're also found in crevices, crevices. So we call it crevices. So this is one thing, one section that I wanted to discuss. Another important thing that you can keep in mind when we talk about minerals is, see, sedimentary rocks. When I talk about sedimentary rocks, these are basically the layers. Sedimentary rocks is like you layer it down. What should come to your mind when you talk about sedimentary rocks is basically they occur either in beds or in layers. For example, good example of sedimentary can be potassium, can be sodium salt, and you can also add gypsum in this case. So yes, these are few examples of sedimentary rock. Now, where do I get all these, aluminium deposits? Or I can talk about aluminium deposit. Yes, you guys are answering in red. I get it at valley floors. But what do I say that, when there is small occurrence of something, when I get in something in small quantity or something in large quantity. So imagine, just put your hands like this, and there are some veins right here. Very tiny, very small, you can't identify unless you're very into that having that microscopic view. So imagine something found in very small quantity, you can call it as veins, and something that's like, you generally say lots of love, lots of affection. So something that's found in large quantity, you basically can call it loads. So these are few tricks that you can associate and keep in mind when you talk about minerals and energy resources. I've just talked a few of them, so there is a list that we can go on and on. So today I'm going to talk about important questions, of course not the summary of the chapter. So I just wanted you to keep in mind these few things. Now I'll cover the chapter in different ways, like we'll section out the questions and try to cover each component. So please be Very attentive, guys. I'm gonna kickstart the discussion with 1 mark question. We're gonna discuss quite a few questions. So better be attentive and let's get started. Okay, the very first question. What are minerals? I'm gonna ask you 20 questions and you gotta be very quick. What are minerals? Okay, so I'm getting some good answers. Yes, okay. So you guys are telling me, ma'am, minerals is something homogeneously occurring or homogeneously naturally occurring, that's cool, homogeneously naturally occurring substances, that's cool. They can be found in liquid form, they can be found in gaseous form, and they can also be found in solid form. Okay, so we've given the definition. Okay, so second question is, state the types of minerals. What are the different types of minerals? Okay. Yeah, I got the answer. Okay, that's quick. I'm going to write it here. One is metallic. You guys are very quick. And the other one is non-metallic. So we've answered the second part of the question also. Okay, the next question is, here we go. Third question is, name the type of metallic minerals. You have to tell me the type of metallic minerals. See, I'm trying to get you into the flow of the chapter, right? Okay, so metallic minerals, yes, I got the answer. It is ferrous and non-ferrous. Okay, next question. Two examples of non-metallic minerals. Better be quick. Two examples of non-metallic minerals. Very good. Number one, you can write limestone, then you can write nitrate. Of course, there's potash. It's also mica and gypsum. Cool, guys. You just nail it. Okay, next question. Let's jump on to the fifth question. Name any two, just point out any two uses of manganese ore. Like two uses. We've reached the fifth question. We need to discuss 20. Quick. Okay, yes. Number one, it is used in the manufacturing of bleaching powder. That's cool. You guys have answered it right. Maybe insecticides even, and even pesticides. And also it is used in the preparation of alloys. Like maybe iron and steel. We can also use it in the preparation of, in the making of iron and steel. And apart from that, bleaching powder, insecticides, paints and whatnot. Okay, jumping on to the sixth question. Two oil fields in Assam. That's quick. I got the answer. Yeah, it's Digboy and Nakarkatia. That's cool, guys. I really like the spirit. Okay, next important question is, what is the, let me think of the next important question that we can ask. Okay, the next important question is, which rock consists which rock consists of a single mineral? There's just one rock that consists of a single mineral. Good, it's limestone. Okay, so I'll be quick for the next question. It is, which region in India is almost devoid of economic minerals? That's cool. It's, yeah, economic minerals. You can say, you can talk about, yes, alluvial plains of North India. They're devoid of economic minerals. Okay, next question. Name the finest, it's like the finest quality of iron ore that has good magnetic qualities in it. So how you can remember is, see, when I talk about iron ore, the best way that I've learned is over the years how you can work on it. Yes, iron ore, there are two types. For example, number one is magnetite and the second one is hematite. Okay, so how you guys can learn or work on this is, see, mothers are generally very good, are like very strong, fine and stuff like that. So the answer to this question won't be hematite. It has to be, the finest quality of this has to be associated like iron. Your mother is like your backbone of the family. So just remember, with iron, it's your mom, and this is going to be the answer, that is magnetite. Okay, jumping on to the next question. Which type of minerals are, in which type of minerals, I would say, are India's reserves basically found, or production are very satisfactory? Like, in which sort of minerals do have very satisfactory production? Good. It is India's reserves and production with respect to non-ferrous minerals are very good. You guys are very intelligent, I must say. So with respect to non-ferrous minerals, good to know. By the way, this question was also asked in 2014 exam, the 1 mark question I was talking about. Okay, next important question that I'm going to ask you is, let me think about it. Okay, this is the question right here. It is Kodma in Jharkhand is the leading producer of which mineral? Is the leading producer of which mineral? Guys, yes, you got the answer right. It's mica. Okay, next question, the important question again. Like, which mineral is indispensable for its electric and electronic industry, especially when it comes to electronic industry? Like, which mineral? When I talk about electric, what comes to your mind? See, one again important point. Okay, last question for this slide is, name one environment friendly fuel. Fuel, guys, I'm not talking about mineral, I am talking about fuel. Good, it's natural gas. Do you want to answer a few more questions for 1 mark? Okay, let's go. Which industry is the key user of natural gas? Like, which industries uses most of the natural gas? Good, it is power and fertilizer industry. That's cool. Okay, next jump on to the 15th. Did I end on 13th question there? Yes, 14th and 15th. Okay, here you go. Where was petroleum drilled first in India? A very important question. Where was it drilled for the first time? Very good. It was drilled in Digboi in Assam. See, I told you. Acha, guys, can you answer this question? The geological age in which coal is found in India, like which two periods coal or geological age coal is found? Good. Yes, it's the coal of, especially when I talk about the tertiary period, we do have of Gondwana, but it's very less in quality. But the one that is found in northeast India is especially the tertiary coal. So I've told you two types of coal, two ages of coal. We have, one is Gondwana and the other one is tertiary. But when they ask you about northeast, yes, we have good quality of tertiary coal. Okay, jumping on to the 17th question. Guys, what is the essential feature of mica? Like the mineral right here, what do you think is the essential feature of it? Okay, like we discussed, it is, yes, it is clear. Electric component industry it is used. It can be black in color, it can be green in color, it can be red or maybe yellow or maybe brown. So essential feature is clear. It is anyway clear. Okay. Then it has different colors. It can be found in. Next important thing that you guys can keep in mind. See, imagine I've associated this. I generally associate things with the people around. So there's a good Punjabi singer. His name is Mikka, right? He probably has a golden teeth also. So what I remember is his height is okay, good. He's good in height. So what I remember is not that tall, but I would say good in height. So since he's not that tall, so I say Chota Nagpur Plateau. So Micah is found in Chota Nagpur Plateau. That's not a feature, but something that you can associate with. Second important thing that you can learn about it, it is, you know, he wears a lot of gold. It's sort of in layers. So it can be, I can say in this component, it can be layered into sheets. Just remember that Punjabi singer that we have. So it can be layered into sheets, different colors. He wears different jewelries, different stones. Then it is found in Chota Nagpur region. One more thing that you guys can talk, it is also found in Nellore in Andhra Pradesh or maybe Ajmer in Rajasthan, like a lot of stuff. One important thing that you have to remember when you talk about this is it has very good dielectric strength. When I talk about dielectric strength, that means there is low power loss, there is insulating properties, and it is also resistant to high voltage. See, you learned quite a lot about it. So yes, Chota Nagpur Plateau, at the edge of basically Chota Nagpur Plateau, Ajmer in Rajasthan, Nellore in Andhra Pradesh, then dielectric strength, then can be layered into sheets. See, you got this there. You learned it. Okay. Three more question, 1 mark question before we jump on to 3 mark question. Guys, where, like I would say 18th question, which non-conventional source of energy is harnessed in Parvati Valley? That is, it was asked, this question was asked in 2008. So this I'm asking you guys. So which energy resource do we get in this valley, that is in Manikaran, especially in Himachal Pradesh? Let me see how many of you can answer this. Yeah, many of you got it. It is the geothermal energy. Good guys, I like this. Okay, we are going cool. Okay, the last question is, name the largest, sorry, the second last. Name the largest manganese producing state. It's like manganese. Okay, so the trick to learn is just say, oh man. So this is the trick. Do you get the name of the state right here? And do you get manganese right here? Yes, it is Odisha. It is the largest manganese producing state. So this is how you can associate, and this, it probably helps you, stick to the topic, and you can learn it in a very funny manner. Okay, jumping on to the last question, that is, see, the question is, which factors or which factor is responsible for sugar mills to shift and concentrate in southern or western states of India? Like, what do you think? This question was also asked in CBSE 2013 exam. What are the factors because of which the sugar industry that was there in UP, Bihar, it had to relocate? So it is the factor that is responsible is because of which the sugar mills had to shift and get concentrated in the southern and western states in India, is that the cane produced in southern and western states is having very high sucrose content. So it is having very good sucrose content. So that is why we had to shift and relocate the industry to south and western sections. Okay, two more questions and we are good to go. Like, let me ask you. If I ask you oldest oil producing state, I think you guys will be in a position to answer. It is Assam. Okay. One more question. Last question. Name the highest quality of hard coal that is found in India, like the highest quality. Yes, that's right. It's anthracite. Good guys. So we are good to go. See, we discussed 22 questions in less than 10 minutes. Okay, jumping on to the 3 mark questions. Let's quickly talk about the 3 mark questions also. The very first question is, mention any 3 major iron ore belts in India. Write 3 characteristics of a southernmost iron ore belt. So this is a question. You can see the image. I've drawn it here. So one is here, the second one is here, and the third one is here. You guys know quite a lot that yes, iron ore belts, there are 3 iron ore belts in India. Number 1 is Odisha and Jharkhand belt, and you're going to talk about it if you know the content. Second is the Durg Bastar belt of Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra. And let's jump on to the third belt. We've discussed so many questions. Okay, third belt is Bellary Chikmagalur belt. It's like there in Karnataka. So these are the 3 important belts, and yes, this belt is very important. You have to underline the belt and then talk about it. Especially this belt is important because of the Kudermukh mines. That's located in the Western Ghats. So it has a special reference in your book. It's very important. And if you know about the 3 belts, you can very well work on it. So let's jump on to the next question. How is solar energy becoming popular in rural and remote areas of India? You have to explain. So of course, Solar energy, it has why popular? Because you know a lot, guys. It's conserved, it helps in conserving the environment. There is it will provide adequate supply of can be used in agriculture sector also. It's becoming popular because it helps to minimize the dependence of rural households on that thing that is really hazardous to the health. For example, firewood, cow dung cakes. So these sort of are really hazardous at times when you use this for cooking purpose. You have to push it in a lot of air, so that sort of chokes your system at times. So we are making best use of solar energy. So it is sort of becoming very popular. It will provide adequate supply of manure also in agriculture sector. So there are quite a few uses of solar energy. So let's jump on to the next question on that note. So there are four parts for this question. The very first one is you have to distinguish and answer it in 30 words. You have to distinguish between ferrous and non-ferrous, conventional and non-conventional. So ferrous means, of course, something related to iron. Non-ferrous, not that that's not related to iron. Conventional is something that you've been using for quite some time. Non-conventional, that has not been put to use that effectively. We've not been using it for quite some time. So ferrous iron content, please ensure when you ask to distinguish, you make a chart or a table like this and then try to present your answer. It's very clear. Rather than writing the answer in a paragraph, try to differentiate it. So it has iron content, non-ferrous does not have it. Then they help in development, of course. If iron is there, metallurgical industries is going to work. It's going to become the backbone. And in this case, they do play an important role in metallurgical industries, in electrical industries, and also in engineering. So good to go. Talking about non-conventional and conventional, again you have to draw a difference table. Conventional is they are non-renewable, whereas non-conventional is you can renew them. You have to give good examples also when you talk about conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. For example, in this case, conventional is like coal, petroleum, natural gas, whereas non-conventional, they can be sun, solar energy, wind energy, or tidal energy that we are working on. Recently we've developed them. They are their generation is quite expensive when I talk about conventional, and also pollute the environment. However, if I talk about non-conventional, there I'm not saying it's difficult to get them, but yes, there's initial cost associated, whereas the generation or coming up with the source is quite cheap as compared to the conventional source of energy. Next, they've asked the question that what is a mineral? You guys, we've discussed about what is a mineral in 1 mark question. We have also talked about igneous and metamorphic rocks, like I am, like you talked about I am at fault. I hope you guys remember that. Then why do we need to conserve the resources? That is a good question. We've talked about loads, we've talked about veins. Now, why do we need to conserve resources? Minerals are or these minerals, see, minerals are basically non-renewable. They get exhausted, therefore we the distribution is also not very even. They're not evenly distributed, and they are very much used and become the backbone when we talk about the industrial development. So minerals are used extensively in industries and for economic development. Thus we need to ensure that there is an equitable distribution and we utilize them in the proper manner. Okay. Now jumping on to the next question, explain the use of petroleum. Now how we are talking about petroleum? Basically petroleum is found in something like this. So a lot of people face a lot of issues at where do we find petroleum? We're not clear. I'm going to explain you here. See, we get layers of rocks. It's like one layer, then below it you have another layer, and below this you have another layer. So this like sheets. Sedimentary rocks, when I told you, I talked about layers, I talked about beds. So this section, because the layers of the rocks, they're not symmetric, it's like uneven. So the part that is up like this in the upside, on the upside, this is known as anticline, and whereas the one that is at the bottom is known as syncline. what happens is this, I'm going to explain here. For example, imagine you have this one layer, the second layer, and the third layer. So in this second layer, you have gas, that's at type natural gas. In this layer, you basically have that oil. So this is sort of permeable layer, and this is impermeable. This and this one is impermeable. That means it does not allow the oil to flow up or down. So what happens, we generally drill a hole in it and we take out the petroleum reserve from here. So even in addition to that petroleum reserve, we get gas also. So I hope it's clear to you people. The word antisyncline is clear to you people. It's like that shape of the rock, and this, I get petroleum from this shape. It's like this, I have drawn it right here. Okay, so this is where I get there's this permeable rock that's right between two sections of impermeable rock, and then I can use petroleum. Now coming back to the question is, explain uses of petroleum as an energy resource. And so first you have to talk about it as an energy resource, and then you have to explain as an industrial raw material. So this is for 5 marks. So let's see what the answer is. Yes, petroleum is also, first you have to give a good introduction that petroleum is also called as black gold. It is, yes, also known as liquid gold. But coal, guys, when I talk about coal, it is known as black diamond. So I want to differentiate here so that you guys don't get, because it's the purest form of carbon, coal. But petroleum is known as black gold or liquid gold. So how is it a major source? Because it provides heating and lightening. It is used as lubricant for the machinery, raw material for petrochemical industries. An important thing that you have to make a note, it is a nodal industry. Yes, it is a nodal industry for fertilizers. When it comes to textiles, it's found in antisynclines. It's found in traps, especially in tertiary rocks. So when I talk about tertiary rocks, it is found there in the antisyncline. So it's like 6, yes. Now, since we are talking about it, not related, all these points, make sure you point it in, add these points in pointers or talk about it. So I'm going to tell you, where do we find most of the petroleum? Almost 63% of the petroleum production takes place in Mumbai. 18% is produced in Gujarat. Additional stuff that we are talking about, 16% is produced in Assam. So please take a note of all these things when you talk about petroleum. And I told you the oldest petroleum producing state, especially in Digboi. I hope I've made my point clear. So now let's jump on to coal. Now you guys already told me a lot. Why is coal called the most important source of energy even today in India? I have to explain it with 3 reasons. So before you jump onto the explanation, please ensure you give a good introduction. For example, you're going to talk that coal is also known as black diamond. It is the purest form of carbon, and then it has it's formed by the compression of, I can say it basically formed by the compression of plants that get submerged, and then you're good to go. You have enough points to add. For example, India has abundant reserves of coal uh, to feed our needs. We've been using it since ages, and it's used in generation of thermal powers. It is also used as an energy resource in domestic and industrial purpose. So it basically caters not only to the industries, but also for the domestic purpose. We kind of make use of coal. So that is why you can ensure that though we do have some abundant reserves as compared to the other countries. So yes, coal has become a very, very, very important source of energy. Because why we can say that? Because you guys know, in when I talk about lignite, one of the components of coal. This is though a low grade coal, but this is used, it's brown in color, it's used a lot for industrial purpose. So when you talk about industrial purpose, ensure with a black pen, you guys are not allowed to use black pen, you highlight it that this is used, we basically use lignite for industrial purpose. This is how you're going to put your point across. Most of the people don't put in that effort, but if you do that, it's going to show up in your answer, so don't forget to do that. Okay, now jumping on to the next question. Though you can also write that coal is a very bulky sort of resource, so only most of the heavy industrial and thermal plants are located near the coal fields, so you can summarize it that way. Next is, which is the most abundantly available fossil fuel in India? And you have to what are three major forms? So do you want to guess what is the most abundantly used fossil fuels? Yes, it is coal that we talked about. So, quite three different forms. Like, now the best way to learn is I don't remember things. So what I do is see, move in alphabetical order. It's A, B, then is it L or P that comes first? Yes, it's anthracite, bituminous, and it's lignite, and finally it's peat. See, you learn different forms. It's anthracite, it's bituminous, it's lignite, and it's all in alphabetical order. So this is A is best, and as you go down, the moisture content kind of keeps on increasing, whereas the coal content keeps on decreasing. Isn't it easy to remember, guys? So talking about anthracite, since we are discussing, so I would bring it to your notice. The best one is anthracite that we have. It's going to have the high quality. Then you're going to explain bituminous, that is buried deep, and it gets high in touch with high temperature. So bituminous, right, let me write it here for you guys. Bituminous is basically used for commercial use. It's basically put to commercial use. For example, in blast furnace it is used for smelting of iron. Then if you talk about lignite, we just discussed it. It is found in Tamil Nadu, and it is soft brown in color. It is having high moisture content. So it is low grade. See, we covered so many points. Then talking about the last one, that's peat. They've not asked it, but since we are revising, so I would love to tell you, it's low carbon. Of course, the last one, so of course, high moisture. It has quite a lot of moisture in it. So it is basically found in a swampy area. So where we have decayed plants and animals with a lot of water. So it's found there. So that is it about this coal component. Jumping on to the next question, that is, see, we discussed it. Minerals are an indispensable part of our life. Support the statement. So you have to support it. So we've talked a lot about minerals. I think you guys can answer that minerals are an indispensable source because they're found everywhere. So this is going to be the introduction, this part that I've written in bullet by mistake. So this is going to be the introduction. May it be a pin, may it be a big ship, everything, are make use of minerals. So why would how would I justify that minerals are an indispensable part of our life? You have to give it with examples. You have to give good number of examples. It's in food, it's in cars, it's in railway lines. Everywhere you see, anything you see, you have mineral there. So you have quite good examples of minerals. Don't forget to start your question by explaining or giving the definition of minerals like we talked. Then you can kickstart and give a number of examples, like it's there: railway lines, roads, cars, food. Even the food that we eat, we have a component of minerals that comes into play. Okay, so you guys know this question. I can observe that. Jumping on this 5-mark question, describe the distribution of coal in India. Good question. I kind of like it. So coal, I told you, sedimentary rock, because it's found in layers by the compression of plants that get decayed over millions and millions of years. So we have two ages of coal that is found here in India. One is the tertiary coal, and the second one, we discuss it, 1 mark question, that tertiary coal is found in northeastern part, and the other one is the Gondwana. So the question is, you have to tell it in 5 marks, the distribution. You have to explain the distribution. So anthracite, talk about it. It's found only in Jammu and Kashmir. The highest quality that burns without smoke is in Jammu and Kashmir. The second one is bituminous. So just remember B and B. So associate the states very near to Bihar. So just remember bituminous is going to be BOMB. That's Odisha. That's Madhya Pradesh. And so you just ask, what bomb? So it's bituminous, West Bengal, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and Bihar. Easy? Okay. Lignite is there. So just remember how you're gonna remember. So LITR. So what you can do is lignite is you don't have anything, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan. Give two examples. I wrote about this one, Tamil Nadu. Lignite, Jammu and Kashmir. Lignite, Jammu and sorry, no, it's not making sense. So I thought it's gonna be lignite. So just remember little LITR. So L is lignite, T is Tamil Nadu, R is Rajasthan. Talking about peat, see, we don't have enough because any specific area, because it's generally found in swampy areas. So it's the one that has very less carbon content in associated, and it emits more of smoke. Okay, so we've talked about it. Now answering the second question, why do you think solar energy has a bright future in India? We anyway talked about it because it's the most abundant. See, India lies in that region, especially between equator and Tropic of Cancer. That's 23.5 degree north and equator. So India anyway is an energy surplus country when it comes to solar energy. So we can make use of the photovoltaic technology that converts sunlight. We have a lot of potential of solar energy. Thar Desert is the one that acts as the biggest source when it comes to solar energy. Then it's Bhuj district of Gujarat. So India is developing and trying to channelize its energy so that we can work on the production of solar energy, because it's like the more we make use of solar energy, the more we'll be less dependent on sources that are creating a lot of pollution, for example coal, petroleum, and stuff like that. Okay guys, so I am left with one question, that is Koderma in Jharkhand. We discussed it. If you guys remember, we did discuss this question. Yes, I can get answers. The answer is this. Okay, so I am done with this chapter. I told a lot of things to you guys. I hope they were helpful to you. You guys can get the you guys can download the PDF link to this video, or this you guys can download this PDF from the app that's down there in the description box. You can download the app from the description box and then get hold of the PDF. Uh, After you download the app, you can ask your doubts, you can get access to other videos, and you can even get more study material. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Till we meet next, stay happy, stay hydrated, eat healthy, go out for recreational activities. Don't invest a lot of time on Clash of Clans or PUBG. So, and do respect your parents. It's very important. So take care. Thank you. Bye bye.